Good afternoon. I am jumping on for our weekly live. Again, I do understand it's on a Wednesday, but hey, we're making it happen because, like anything, consistency is key. So, what I'm going to be covering today is what you must do to achieve weight loss. Now, a lot of our clientele, this is what we sort of begin with. Everybody does want to achieve a little bit of weight loss for one reason or another. And for those of you who don't know, in the past, weight was something that I really struggled with, and it had a massive impact on my self-esteem, my confidence, the way I sort of showed up. So for me, that was the reason behind wanting to lose weight. And obviously just to feel lighter, healthier, more confident, and just more myself. So this is why I feel like it's quite a hot topic because, I definitely wasn't alone in feeling like that. And now we've managed to basically go through all the hard lessons and put them into place. But I want to basically share today what must be done to ultimately to achieve weight loss. So, one thing that I know made the biggest difference is going to really come back down to nutrition and consumption. So tracking calories or tracking what I ate throughout the day on a consistent basis is really ultimately what gave me the results, because for years I was always active, always moving, and that was never an issue for me. And I know for a lot of clients, they say the same thing, that training is not hard. Getting to sessions is not hard. It's knowing what to eat and how to eat outside of the gym. So that's why today I thought that this might be a really helpful topic, especially coming into August, which is going to be the launch of our very first or a very brand new 28-day challenge. So going to hand out some tips, and hopefully today you find some value. So if you are watching live, please comment below, let me know where you're watching from, or if it's on replay and you happen to get any value from today, of course, please let me know. So basically the biggest thing that is going to help you see results or start to feel any difference is going to be tracking your food. And now, what is tracking? Tracking can seem really quite overwhelming and scary, maybe a little bit too complicated to a lot of people, but it can actually be something that sort of can be embraced, especially considering the results that we can get. So a really fantastic tool to start tracking or to be tracking is MyFitnessPal, which is a free app you can download, and basically you can just enter in your foods, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks in there. Best case scenario, obviously you want to be tracking everything, but if you are somebody who is just looking to lose a little bit of weight, within a month, you're definitely going to be able to see the results with starting by tracking just a couple meals per day. So I always recommend to clients who have never tracked before, have no idea what food hold, what calories or what macronutrients, is just to start by tracking 1 to 2 meals. And then over the days, over the weeks, as you get more confident, more consistent with the app, you can start to include more. But starting out with, a minimum 2 meals, your first 2 meals of the day, and then being mindful of that third meal and your snacks is a really great way to start. And within a month, you will definitely be able to see those results. One thing to be mindful of, though, with MyFitnessPal is it is, as much as it's a great tool to actually be able to track your foods and keep a food journal, it's not really fantastic at determining your individual macros or your calories. So if you're somebody who's looking at starting to track, then definitely please reach out to myself, and we have some other resources as well that we can help with this particular app. But be mindful that it's going to spit out quite a generic number, and this is just something that happens with, I suppose, IT, with anything. But studies show that tracking your food or keeping a food journal is one of the surefire ways to actually start seeing results. And it's going to help you get better, faster, but more predictable results over a period of time, because you actually have some data to track and see where you're at. So here is how you can implement it. Here are some, easy to follow steps so that you can actually start implementing a habit that you know is going to get you results. So number one is going to be, of course, to download the app. And then would like you to reach out and just let me know what your particular goals are, and then we can have a bit of a discussion about whether or not the calories that, you know, for some clients who have actually already entered in their calories, or they've gotten their calories off the internet somewhere, it spits out a very underwhelming amount, and it can leave people feeling like, you know, either hungry or feeling like it's just too hard to sustain. So we aren't consistent enough, we don't get the results. So please, number 2, reach out. And number 3 is going to be just to start by tracking a couple meals per day. This is just going to help you feel more confident with the app, get familiar with what calories are in what foods, and then you'll actually start to learn just off yourself. Nobody will have to tell you what's keeping you full and what is hitting your satiety levels, and what's going to help you achieve your results. So the next thing is going to be just add it in as a part of your day. So the biggest thing is definitely going to be consistency. So how do we create consistency? We want to actually set a routine. So let's look at how or where in your day that this can be a part of your, you know, existing routines. So a really good thing with this, I always told any tracking clients to make sure that before you let your head hit the pillow that night, to have the next day's tracking entered into your app, because this just sets you up to be able to get up and go, right, I don't have to waste any of my thinking power on what I'm going to have for breakfast or how much I'm going to have for lunch, because it's all in the app already, and I know that these numbers are going to actually help satisfy my goals. So the ways that we can also I also do understand that tracking and having no idea how much or, you know, where to start can be overwhelming, hence why our 28-day challenge actually gives you an eating plan with a set number of calories as well as meal options, and it's an easy as 1, 2, or 3, and you just keep a food journal as opposed to using the Apple tracking. So there's a number of ways that you can do it, but ultimately coming down to actually tracking what you are consuming is going to be what gets you the results, especially if weight loss is the goal. Then that's how you're going to achieve it. You really need to make sure that you're keeping a finger on the pulse and knowing what you're consuming so that you can track it. If you're not working with a coach, it may take a bit longer, but you will then be able to obviously look at the data, see how the weight is, how your goals are progressing, see if any changes need to be made. So the other thing that I think is really important when starting with tracking is not to put the pressure on yourself to have it 100% correct or have it down pat from the very start, because it can be a little bit like, how do I know how much this is, or weigh that out? And again, this is one of the hurdles that I think a lot of clients have come across in the past, and hence why we are now giving out those eating plans with some options, as well as, you know, some alternatives throughout the 28-day challenge as well, as a stepping stone to then become more confident and consistent with tracking and make this a part of a routine. If you have those particular goals, this is the surefire way to actually achieve them. So I hope that today actually does give you some value or help give you some resources. If you do wish to take this step or are interested in finding out a little bit more, please do reach out to myself, either personally DM or through the Facebook page, and we'll be more than happy to help you out with this topic. As I know myself, this is definitely how I was able to actually start to shift the weight and maintain it. But also many clients have seen so much success through this, and you can have some incredibly quick wins by just tracking those 2 meals per day. So a great place to start. And in the meantime, if there is any other questions that do pop up, of course, please reach out, send me a personal message. You can find me on Facebook as Ashley Parfray, or on Instagram, ashp_lifestyle, my Instagram handle, or of course through the Fitness 360 social channels. I hope you have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you guys next week.